Hello YouTube, and especially all you knife people out there. Sorry it's been several months since any updates on my knife videos, but I've been crazy busy this summer, and I hope to get out in the woods in the next month or two and try out some new tests on some knives I have on order, but we'll get to those later. Today I want to talk to you about a knife that I've been waiting a really long time for, and that is the Survive Knives GSO 3.5 blade. Now I'll show it to you in just a second, but in case you're not familiar with the circumstances surrounding this knife, I want to take just a second to explain them to you quickly. My first experience with a Survive Knives was with the awesome GSO 4.1. I tried to get the 4.0, or what was then called the 4 for Forever, but I just never could find a window where it was available in stock. I missed the pre-order dates, so I waited. So even though this 4.1 was the first knife I actually used, the first knife I ordered was the 3.5 with the premium handles. Now these went on pre-order in September of 2013, and the first delivery started coming out around May 2014, so quite a wait. Mine unfortunately had the two circumstances surrounding the slightly longer delays in issuing the knives. One, the black micarta premium handles, again I'll show you in just a second, were delayed from the manufacturer, and two, those that had some of the finishes, mine had the FDE or the flat dark earth finish, were also delayed because the coating was not up to the standards that Survive wanted to issue to their customers. So the wait went on, and I think technically, it was right around 352 days on delivery, so just shy of a year, but it is a cool little knife, and I will show it to you in just a second. So I ordered it in September, did make the pre-order window, so I did get a numbered knife, the first 200, mine happens to be number 163, and then I ordered the 4.1 around December, Christmas time, right around the first of the year, because they came back in stock, and that was the first knife I actually got my hands on and have since had the opportunity to use and have really enjoyed that blade. In fact, as of the airing of this video, it is currently my favorite outdoor knife overall. But without further ado, this is about the 3.5, and here it is. It is about a 3.5-inch blade. I think it's technically 3.4 inches, but who's counting? I ordered it with the standard flat black sheath with the standard clip, which if you watch my other videos will result in this sitting extremely high on the hip, but you can get dangle mods and things like that for it. Unfortunately, I think that Survive has quit carrying the dangle options, which I thought were awesome. I have one on my 4.1 sheath here. Sagewood maybe works. I'll put it at the bottom of the screen, the actual name of it, but they quit carrying their stuff. You can get it through the supplier themselves. They're completely sold out. I don't know if they make one narrow enough for the 3.5. I did try this on there, and the grooves, the holes, are a little bit wide for the eyelets on the 3.5 sheath. This is how I recommend carrying the GSOs. This stuff is awesome, but you'll have to go through the manufacturer itself now to get them. Anyway, for me, this is going to be my backpacking blade. It's not going to be my standard wilderness use knife. It's not going to be something I'm going to take out when I'm car camping, family camping, or even just camping out with friends. This will be something I will throw in my pack when I decide to do longer excursions on the trail, because it is smaller, yet still sharp and stout, and not something I'm going to need to carry directly on me. I carry a little Zulu necker from ESEE for that right now, for quick reference. So I got this to, one, see the size, two, I was trying to get a Survive blade, and three, I figured in something slightly smaller that's still buff enough to do the stuff I might require on the trail, this was going to be my blade. So let's take a look at it. Standard sheath, if you've played around at all with Survive before, you're familiar with their knives. And this is it. And I'm hoping that the light does this blade justice. This is what they call the flat dark earth finish. I sent a photo and verified it because there was a little confusion on my order. I'll explain that to you in just a minute, and how Survive did a great job of pulling through on customer satisfaction with that one. This actually has a champagne kind of finish to it, and I'm hoping it'll show up on camera here. I'm using a different camera to try out for a woods option, so this will be kind of a test run of that. But as you can see, it's kind of got a light champagne finish to it. Not quite as stand outish as the gold issued iPhone 5S, but it is what I would call a champagne finish. But it matches, it doesn't match, but it harmonizes, how about that, well with the brass bow drill divot. And that's what part of what everyone else is waiting on as well was this insert right here in the premium handle. Bow drill depressions have been available in the micarta handles from a lot of manufacturers before, but this has a premium brass insert in the back, which is stronger, should provide better rotation, things like that. A really neat feature. So that was part of the delay along with the finish. As usual, I got the ferro notch added in the top. It's been outstanding on my 4.1. And it does a really good job of helping bite into the ferro rod and making sure it throws a great spark. If you're familiar with Survive knives, you're used to probably that tumbled finish. This isn't 3V, by the way. I love 3V. I've had a lot of great experiences with it, and the 4.1 is also in 3V. They offer another steel at a premium price. Maybe it's S20V, I believe. And there's a slight price increase for that. It's available on their website, but I got the 3V. This has kind of they call it a flat dark earth. It's got ever so slightly a sheen to it, but it is kind of a flat, non-highly reflective finish. But because it's not tumbled, the edges are even sharper than they normally are. And normally on this one, they're very, very good. But the reason you get the ferro notch added is because it makes it a little bit sharper right there for grabbing sparks. These are 90 degrees, but ever so slightly rounded. And all the jimping grooves on the back of the knife, on the pommel area, and up here on the jimping are rounded, which makes it a little bit more comfortable in the hand. These are sharper on the back because the steel is not tumbled. But overall, it's a beautiful product. I love how this knife looks. I love it in so much, in fact, that I don't think I'm going to use this. In fact, as much as I really hate it, I might be selling it. And I'll tell you why in just a minute. That is because of this guy. So I have two of the same knife. I'll show them to you side by side so you can see that finish, if it will focus. Again, the standard tumbled steel 3V on the top and the flat dark earth at the bottom. The handles are exactly the same. They are black micarta with the bow drill divots added, and everything about them is the same. The only difference is that, and this is done by hand, but the ferro notch is a little bit higher up on the blade toward the handle of the knife than on the coated one. In the back end, right here, this is more rounded and this is sharper on the back end, the kind of the jimping, but really not that big a deal at all. So without going into a lot of details, this was delayed. The finish was delayed. And I had contacted the shop to find out if they knew when they would be back in. They apologized and said that they wanted it up to standard, which I highly respect and all that. So I said, hey, look, I was going to try to finish out. I don't typically like blades that have a coating on them. Try to rock these in the light for you there. I typically don't like blades with coatings because they get off and things like that. I just wanted to see how yours would perform because your products have been awesome. And I said, just so I could go ahead and get my hands on my 3.5, can I just get it downgraded, quote unquote, to the tumbled finish? They agreed with that. They actually refunded me for that, and said that they would get it out, and they did. That same day it shipped, and I got it 2 days later, and this one came in the mail. And I was confused actually about the finish. I said, hey, is this the FDE finish? What's going on? I actually expected to be a little bit darker than this champagne color, which I've said it before, I'll say it again, I do really, really like this. And I emailed them a picture, and the shop replied and said, look, we're sorry, we didn't realize that this blade did meet our specs. We were waiting on the handle, and basically some wires got crossed, and they thought that they were basically not able to send it. So when this came in, even though they had refunded me for the finish on this, they went ahead and delivered the product that I originally ordered, which is awesome. So I then said, okay, well, I appreciate that. I mean, thank you so much for the outstanding customer service and giving me what I originally ordered. They never asked for me to repay for the premium finish. I think they realized that there had been a long delay, that I really wanted to get the knife, and that's why I had downgraded it, not because I didn't want the finish. And they contacted me and said, you know, hey, we got your tumbled one that we sent off to have ordered in. Do you want to go ahead and get that one too? And I basically got 2 blades. So thumbs up, Guy and staff at Survive for customer service. Had to wait quite a while to get these. They're well worth the wait. The fit and finish on these is top notch. If you can get a knife from Survive, I've said it before and I'll say it again, the 2 biggest frustrations are gonna be they're never in stock, and the delivery times, the estimated delivery times will probably be a little bit longer than they even expect, because there's a lot of people out there trying to get their hands on these, and for great reason. So let me show you these side by side. This is with the 4.1 here at the top. It's the same knife but scaled down. It's the same knife but scaled down, so it's shorter top to bottom. It's shorter handle to tip. The handle is about the same length, but it's just a little bit smaller in girth. Outstanding blades based on the performance of the 4.1. I have not tested either of these. I just got them in a couple days ago, and I've been waiting for an opportunity to do this video to kind of show you what they look like, in case you haven't, you know, had a chance to see them yet. And you may not have had a chance to see a finished and an unfinished kind of side by side. So a great knife. I haven't had a chance to test them yet. My assumption is, based on my experience with this product from them, that they will be awesome. I can highly recommend Survive knives without hesitation. Mine has been awesome. The 3V is awesome. It doesn't chip. I have even checked my other videos if you haven't, but I've taken their saber grind and actually convexed the V edge out of it so it's even finer. It's held up extremely well through pretty good abuse, as much abuse as I'm ever going to throw at a knife, so I know it'll do what I need it to do, and I have no worries about this at all. My conundrum now is I have 2 3.5s, so there you go. I will probably not use the coated one. It's really, in fact, I may wind up selling it. There's a lot of things I'm wanting to order right now, a lot of things I gotta do. I've only had this a couple days and I'm very, very fond of it, but having 2 is overkill. My wife really wants one, but you know, she already has one. I bought this for backpacking. I'm going to use this one for general wilderness use. You know, I just don't need that many of the same knife. So I may wind up selling it only because I have this one. I really don't want to mess the finish up on the other one. So I will probably wind up using the tumbled one when I do. Let me get the other one out, show you some other size comparisons before I wrap this video up. Again, not a review of performance, but a review of quality and look. Again, a really cool looking blade, man. I like that finish a lot. That I'm going to call it champagne, but the FDE finish is really, really cool. So what are some other knives? Again, we've shown it to you next to the 4.1. Try to hold that up for you there to give you a size indicator. Basically a scaled down version. If you're familiar with BRKT River, think of this one as like a Bravo and this one more as a Gunny. That kind of gives you an idea of where you're at, but a scaled down version, great for younger users, maybe females who prefer a smaller blade but still want something stout. Or if you're like me, you want to throw it in a vehicle, you want to have more of an EDC, but you don't really want to go necker, or if you want something smaller for backpacking, this may be the way to go. Again, that's why I got it. I've got a Mora here. This is the Bushcraft Force. Wound up selling my Bushcraft Black to a friend to give to his girlfriend, so I don't have that one to show you to, but the same size blade, right about 4 inches, I think, so you can see that how it kind of compares. Handle wise, just a tad shorter. Blade wise, a little bit shorter. More robust, obviously, than the Mora, but a Mora is a Mora, and they're cool, man. All right, let's check out something else here. BRKT River. I've got a Fox River here. This in 3V. Let me get it out of the sheath. In the desert ironwood handles, so same steel, but sorry, get some of that sheath particles off of it. There it is. Kind of compared to the Fox River. Fox River, also a very cool knife. Got a review of that one up as well if you haven't checked it out. Jump on over and find that and give it a look if you're interested in that one. What else do I have here? Let's look at this is a really cool knife too. This is the Blind Horse, now defunct company, but two owners split up and did their own things now. One of them's like LT Wright, the other one I think is Battle Horse. But this is their Bushcrafter on the top. A really cool knife. Heavy, but outstanding knife in my book. I've got videos up on that too. It kind of gives you a size comparison. Not a ton smaller than this one, because this knife to begin with only has like a 3.8 to a 4-inch blade, so you can kind of see it there stacked if I can get it rolled around. Kind of give you an idea there. So kind of more in that size wide, definitely weighs less. Handle's a little bit longer on this one, also rounded. That's what kind of makes this one stand out in my book. But so there that is with the Blind Horse Bushcrafter. And let's do one more here. This is a popular knife most people know. This is a ESEE 4. This one, if you haven't seen my other videos, I've polished the finish off of it. I've put a lot of abuse through this ESEE 4. But there it is size-wise. Try to compare the plunge line area on the two. So anyway, that gives you a size comparison there. But anyway, that's what this video is about. I wanted to show it to you. I don't know how many videos there are out there on it. They are still very hard to get. The website right now, they're sold out of almost everything at the time I'm shooting this. You can order these with these very nice premium handles. I don't do a lot of bow drilling, but this, I have no reservations that would hold up really well in a do or die scenario. Deeper than a traditional micarta groove, brass for easier spinning, more robust build quality overall. I think that this may be the best color combination if you're going to get a coated in, a coated blade from Survive. This flat dark earth with this brass inset is a really cool, again, hopefully it focuses there, but a really cool color combination. Really pretty knife. This is the best looking treated blade or finished blade that I've ever had my hands on, because they're either like a soft gray from bead blasted, so it kind of has that feel to it, or it's something like ESEE or Tops or Ontario, something with a really heavy black finish. But this is a really, really awesome blade. They are what they promised. A very stout, beautiful, well-crafted outdoor tool. So if you've been giving them an eye, jumping over, check them out and see if you can get one. If you're debating and you're even considered doing one, I would recommend getting on an order list anytime you can, because the windows are usually not very broad. So again, if you're willing to wait the time that it takes to get one, anytime you can, check out Survive. Guy, he is top-notch when it comes to making these things. Customer service is on the up and up. It's been a lot better communication with the shop lately. I highly, highly recommend Survive Knives, and I don't think you'll find many people that would disagree with that. Until next time, guys, as always, I hope this killed some boredom or you found it helpful or interesting, and I'll catch you guys next time. Be safe, and God bless.